AMD has been riding Intel's coattails for a long time. Maybe that's about to end. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Hi, this is Tim from TradingStrategyGuides.com. Chipmaker AMD is definitely making some inroads into Intel's market share. It's looking like AMD could go up and up. I'm going to show you a nice setup on AMD. Plus we'll look at some updates on our open trades and my trading maxim. And also, I'm going to ask you to give me your opinions a little bit later. So grab some coffee and stick around. Remember, you can speed this video up by clicking the gear icon in the lower right of the video and selecting a new speed. Let's take a look at our open trades. Wednesday, the S&P 500 E-mini popped up and hit my trailing stop for 61.75. I was hoping for a little more downward movement, but I can't complain about making $2,540 on this trade. That's a 2.5% gain on our account with a single trade. Well, Ethereum just dropped like a rock and hit our stop loss without giving us an opportunity to get out with a smaller loss. That happens sometimes, but it's only the fourth time in almost 4 months, so I can live with that. We took a $2,600 loss on this one, and I'm done with Ethereum for now. No problem with the account. This is the reason why I limit my loss to 2% of the account. We're still up 30% since late April. Remember me telling you Wednesday that I wasn't sure if I made a video on the Aussie New Zealand bull flag? Well, actually I did do one on July 22nd. I'll link it below. Anyway, it triggered on Wednesday. So I bought it at 104.89 with my stop at 103.93 and my first target at 105.53. Now we wait. I sold Crude on Tuesday just ahead of the close. It hit the target on Wednesday right here. I took half off the position for profit, set the stop to break even right up here on the remainder. Today, the price popped up and hit my break-even stop for a total of $864 on this trade. All done with Crude for right now. The Bitcoin setup triggered on Wednesday, and I bought it at 12,712 and change. Put my stop at 10,869-ish, and my first target at 12,712 and change. It retested this bull flag a couple of times right here, but I'm still committed to this one. So we'll just wait. Here's the spreadsheet showing all the trade setups I've done on videos since late April. I'll just scroll this up so you can see it a little bit. Started this count with $100,000 and I traded 2% risk on everything. This would be the dollar risk on each particular trade, and you can see that the account's been steadily growing. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 dark pink or red lines indicating trades that hit the full 2% or 1% risk depending on the position size. The light pink represents stops where we closed early because the price action closed back in the consolidation, so we took smaller losses on those. The yellow trades, as you can see there are none right now, are the trades that are open where the first target has been hit and the second half is still running. And then these white entries are trades that are entered and have not hit first target yet. So we have the Aussie New Zealand and Bitcoin currently active. This spreadsheet does the calculations based on how I manage the trades. So it assumes a 2% risk on a full-size position, and then it scales that position based on my size entry. I put my size entry right here. This would be a half-size trade. This would be a full-size trade. Okay, let's talk about AMD. Advanced Micro Devices, Inc., or AMD, has been around for about 50 years. They make semiconductors and are in direct competition with Intel, whose name is synonymous with microprocessors. They are actually the second largest supplier and only significant rival to Intel in the market for x86-based processors, which most of our personal computers have. Anyone who's bought a new computer in the last 20 years has had the choice primarily between Intel and AMD microprocessors. Personally, I've almost always purchased the AMD processor because they have typically had a better price for a similarly powered device. But AMD always seems to be the red-headed stepchild. Until now. Yesterday, AMD's shares jumped 16% after both Google and Twitter announced that they were using AMD's new processor. So that's the news that put AMD on my radar. If you've been on this YouTube channel for more than a minute, you know that I believe that everything traders can possibly know about a market is already built into the price and shows up in the chart. So while this news is awesome for AMD, all it really did for me was to bring the chart to my attention. By the way, AMD is traded on NASDAQ as, you guessed it, AMD, and is a component of both the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 indices. So let's check out the chart. AMD has a nice trading range here, between here and right here. And that big spike from yesterday's news, right here, pretty much stalled right at the top of the range, which is also encouraging. That means we got strong resistance up here at the top. Now this has broken through the range since I started this video. Could be that today is the day that this will trigger. So watch it on the close. I was hoping that it would take a few days to get up here because I wanted to see it build up a little bit of momentum after this huge move up yesterday. But I'm happy to take it right now, whenever it happens. I also look for declining volume and declining volatility, and I look at the volume indicator and the average true range, or ATR, to look at the volatility. Now you can see we had declining volume and volatility up until this poor earnings report right here, where price dropped, and then the news yesterday that caused price to gap up right here. As usual, the setup is simple. We will buy a daily close above 34.39, or we'll sell a daily close below 27.72. Like I say, watch this today on the close, or just ahead of the close, because it looks like it may be breaking out today. I want to see at least average volume on the breaking candle, which we almost have right now. We're just a little bit shy of it. I want to see at least average to trade a full position. But if there's at least 75% of the average, then we'll go with a half-size position. You can calculate 75% by taking this number and dividing it by this, and your result should be at least 0.75. Like I say, it looks like we're probably going to get average volume on this move, and so if it doesn't push up and pull back in, then today might be the day on this one. The stop loss will be 1.5 times the ATR on the breaking candle, and the first target will be 1 times the ATR on the breaking candle. So you look at the breaking candle just ahead of the close and look for the ATR right here, multiply it by 1.5, and in the case of a break to the upside, you will put it below the entry by that amount, and then 1 times that ATR you will put above the entry for the first target. If after entering the trade we get a candle that closes back inside the range, we will take the loss right then and not wait for it to hit the stop loss. Remember what I said earlier about shutting down trades early if they aren't working as intended. Our intention is that a breakout from these patterns should be explosive and hit our target fairly quickly. If the momentum goes away, we want to shut the trade down without taking a full stop if possible. When the price hits our first target, we will close half the position for profit and set the stop loss to break even on the remainder. We will then follow stops as price moves in our direction until the market takes us out. Okay, I ain't your boss, I ain't your mama, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. It's important that you know what your gifts and limitations are as a trader and work with those gifts and limitations. That, I believe, is the most important thing you can learn about trading, the whole psychology part of it. I'm just telling you how I handle these trades, and I've been fairly successful at it. If you want more details about that, look below this video. I will put a link to the trade management video, which gives details on the trade. Also, if you need help with the whole psychology part of trading, I recommend that you go to Amazon and buy a book called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. It's the single best book I've read to benefit my trading. I reread it a couple times a year. It's not going to give you any trading strategies or indicators. It's going to help you with trading psychology. That's what it takes to be a good trader. All this other stuff is secondary. I'll put an Amazon link below the video. I say this to you because it's important, so just do it, okay? And now, here comes the segue. Speaking of psychology, let's have a look at today's trading maxim. A maxim is a general truth, fundamental principle, or a rule of conduct, or just a proverbial saying. These maxims come from various sources, books, the internet, friends, coaches, teachers, or other acquaintances. The purpose of my maxims is to motivate me to discipline. I suggest you start your own list of maxims to help in your trading, things that you can say to yourself while you're trading to make sure you always do the right thing. Feel free to borrow from my list. Today, we're digging back in the archives again. Tim's trading maxim number 15. Commander, it is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness, that is life. Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Captain Picard is one of the primary characters from the 80s and 90s TV series Star Trek The Next Generation. He told this to one of his bridge officers named Data, who happened to be an android. Data was concerned that he had failed at a task. I love this because it is so apropos to trading. You can follow your rules to the letter and still lose the trade. That's okay. It happens periodically. In fact, with some strategies, it happens frequently. And again, that's okay. Trading is not about winning every time. Trading is about taking a position with a high probability of winning and then managing your risk. No trade is 100% sure, so always manage your risk. I cover risk management in that trade management video I mentioned, and you'll find that link below. Remember our trade plan here. We're looking for a daily close above 34.39 to buy, or a daily close below 27.72 to sell AMD. If the volume is not quite average, go half size as long as it's at least 75% of the average. Your stop loss is 1.5 times the ATR, and your first target is 1 times the ATR. And again, remember the trade management video below will give you more details about this. And be sure to come back to Trading Strategy Guide's YouTube channel every week on Monday and Friday for my analysis videos just like this one. And we're doing a little change up on Wednesday mornings. Instead of doing live training, I'll be doing a training video that I'll release on Wednesday mornings. And that brings me to the question I want to put to you. I want you guys to help me figure out the most beneficial subjects to do for the training videos. Please comment below this video with your requests, questions, opinions, opposing viewpoints, whatever you want me to talk about and train about on these training videos, and I'll make a list. Please give us your feedback so we can make this channel helpful to all our subscribers. Also, follow me on Twitter. If things happen between my videos, I'll post them there. I'll put my Twitter link below. Tell your friends about us and help us make this the best trading channel on the internet. And don't forget to give us some comments below on what you want to see the training videos to be about. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up below. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.